and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. I'm reporting live and direct, beloveds, from the island of Lamu, a small island off the coast of Kenya where I drove to, didn't get anything stuck up my nose, etc., etc. I don't even know if they do that on domestic flights, but I've already adjusted my situation in my life so that I'm not put in any kind of compromising situation based on the decisions that I've taken. But those are definitely stories for other days. I pray that you and yours are well. And special shout out, of course, to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much for all that you do for us, beloveds. Thank you so much for supporting us on that platform. I've been getting a lot of questions, personal questions from people about how do I do this? How do I get rid of this? How do I change my life? How do I get the answer to what has been blocking me spiritually? How do I transform this? How do I transform that? They've been getting a lot of questions about that. Some people have even been asking me about spiritualists, like if I can recommend a spiritualist or a natural healer to help them overcome this challenge or this other challenge because of the challenges they're facing. And I just wanted to say, beloveds, you already have a direct connection to Source, to the Most High Creator, to your spiritual guardian team, but maybe you don't recognize how they communicate with you because they are your best guide. They are your best teacher. They are your best healer. They are your best, redeemer, beloveds. They're the ones who are already doing battle on your behalf. And so, really, I highly recommend that instead of seeking anything outside of yourself first, which is something that Babylon has taught us and has weakened us greatly, it is far better and far wiser that you start to tune in to what is going on. Because, beloveds, now we're fully in the Aquarian age. Many will say we're halfway through, we're transitioning, whatever, but it's like the spiritual realm has opened up, and the spirit is communicating. The Most High is communicating. Your guardian angels are communicating. And there's many ways that they do it based on your own talents and your own skill set. For many, you see, I'm a real thinker, so I spend a lot of time, thinking and meditating and conceptualizing, philosopher kind of vibes. And so a lot of the way that spirit communicates to me is through downloads. And I've noticed that most of the downloads now they come every day at like between 3 to 4 a.m. I'll literally hear a voice very clearly, like in my mind, talking to me, teaching me, healing me, kind of expanding stories for me. And so it comes as downloads where it's almost like a genius idea. You know that idea is not your own, but it's like a revelation because you're like, aha. So this happened because this happened and that was here. And, it's kind of information that it's just dropped in your spirit. That's how I'd say it. And that's why they call it downloads, because it usually comes through here. And it's like new codes or new energy. Spirit, it's like it's like water, spirit is water coming into us. And all of a sudden we have new information that we didn't have before. Some of it is extremely profound and we almost can't relate to it. And some of it just answers the very base, I won't call them basic because sometimes they're really complex and they've kind of got us in a bind. But it answers some of the very personal questions that we may have about our own lives, our own experience, our own story. But beloveds, first you have to just acknowledge that the world is mental first and really understand that like everything comes from the mental, everything comes from the spiritual. And once you acknowledge and you fully understand that, then now you can see that spirit, like that world, the spiritual world is more real than this one. But so much has been done to entrap us in this one where we're totally disconnected from that world. But now spirit is communicating, beloveds. So one of the ways that spirit communicates is through downloads, where you'll just, as I said, you'll know information. For others, if you're a very visual person, then you can get it a lot through dreams. And sometimes the dreams are related to you personally, and other times the dreams are related to what we're going through as a collective. And you see, the dream is more symbolic. It's more of, it shouldn't be taken literally. And usually sometimes the interpretation will come later after that you've had the dream. And so the dreams will give you so much direction, so much like prophecy about things that are coming into your life. So for people who dream, then your dream world is definitely a gateway that the spirit can communicate with you. Other people do free writing or painting, something with their hands and minds, where they are literally bringing out the visual, the image onto, a canvas or a piece of paper. So these are the ways that spirit communicates with you. Spirit will also communicate with you through other people, where you'll ask a question in the morning, and if you're totally conscious and you're present throughout your day, you'll meet someone who will say something that you will know is an answer. You will even feel that's the answer that I was looking for. And it may come in a random conversation with someone you don't even know. It may be someone you know. But a lot of messages and keys to our life come through other people, beloveds. And so it's important to, make sure that you're walking in a certain presence when you walk around, when you're walking in a place where you will interact with other people. Because just like the higher spirit sends you messages through other people, the lower spirit also sends you messages through other people. And will even send distractions and obstacles and negativity through other people. These are just some of the ways. And spirit also communicates with signs, everything. Nature works for spirit. Sometimes it's through birds, through the action of birds, or through the birds that you see. It will give you a certain sign. Sometimes it's through billboards where you'll see a certain, maybe that product is advertising. And so, they'll say, seize the day or something like that, beloveds. But that will be spirit will bring your attention to that so that it can, deliver that message for you. Because we live in a spiritual world. The world is so interactive, beloveds. And spirit now is communicating full on with us and meeting us at the level of where we're at with what we have. So how do we get the message of spirit, or the messages that spirit is trying to give us? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Ask Dr. Mumbi. I'm reporting live and direct from Lamu. Thanks for all the likes, the shares, the comments, especially the comments, beloveds. It has made so many of our family feel that they are not walking some of these, the dark night of the soul. Know that some of the traumatic events that have happened to them, they didn't happen to them in isolation, but many who chose to be here at such a time as this to contribute to the transformation of the world have gone through some pretty traumatic things to be here. But we have to look at it from a point of power, that we chose that. Nothing was forced on us. We looked at that narrative. This was the narrative we were going to be coming into. Because you see, we're mental masters. And mental mastery is what is required right now. But those are definitely stories for other days. So how do you know, beloveds, that spirit is communicating with you? I think it's to know what you're connected to and then to pay attention. For me, the biggest thing is pay attention. Pay full attention to your environment, to what is happening around you, to kind of the things that happen. You see, beloveds, like there's a certain color that, I have a favorite color. And so, I hadn't even really asked any question, but I was taking kind of a boat ride, sailing through these mangroves, which is like basically like forest in the ocean. And our boat got stuck somewhere. The boatman had an issue. He'd been having an issue with his boat, but we got stuck somewhere. And it was just totally surrounded by these mangroves, deep, deep water. He had to call someone to come and try and rescue us. And if this had happened 3, 4 years ago, I'd have totally panicked. I'd have been like, oh my God, where are we? How are we gonna, even my spirit would have felt it. But I was at such peace, which already showed me that I'm in a new level with my own narrative. But the other thing is, the color, my favorite color, the bird appeared in that exact, two birds appeared in that exact color, and they looked and they danced around, just near the boat. They flew in, they flew out. And I just knew that that message was for me. Like, I'm exactly where I need to be. And as we sat there, beloveds, just the energy and the oxygen and the vibes that I was able to absorb, because we were there for like 15, 20 minutes. We were able to, that I was able to absorb into me. I literally had to go home and take a nap after. And I realized, like, it's like the trees had just given me so much energy and taken a lot of my tiredness that I didn't even know. Because we're in a mental marathon, beloveds. So you may feel fine physically, but are you okay here? Anyway, so you see, Spirit gave me that confirmation through, because I'm also very connected to birds. So I've seen birds follow me from one part of the continent to another, definitely stories for other days. There's certain birds that always appear that I've realized are kind of like, I don't know, my guardian angels. And so I saw those colored birds, and I just, it's like spirit giving me confirmation. And so you need to learn the language of spirit, beloveds, by being present. Because in these seasons and times, we are so open, we're hearing so much. So you need to be able to hear from spirit when danger is coming, not to make you panic, but to get you prepared. So you need to have your code with spirit so that you know when danger is coming and you know that you'll overcome that danger. So it's all about, hooking the right narrative to help you bypass that. You need to recognize how to know, how to get that confirmation from spirit that everything is okay, even when you're feeling a bit, uneasy about a situation, a circumstance, a place, or whatever. These are all things that you can do, beloveds. I would say also keep a journal, keep a notepad where if you're a dreamer, you need to start writing down your dreams. And some of us, for some of us thinkers, we literally dream with our eyes open. Like the dream comes, it's like a vision, it's like a download. But you need to get into the habit of writing those downloads down, of looking at nature with a deeper eye, not just with these two eyes, but with the first eye, so that you can see what message spirit is bringing you and the direction the spirit is taking you in. Because in this season and time, beloveds, we don't want to move on our own power alone. We want to be moving together with the power of spirit. Because there's so much that is being like unveiled, there's so much that's unfolding right now. And Babylon has a lot of, I mean, their agendas are known. People are like me have been talking about it. We've been labeled conspiracy theorists, but it's all unfolding now. And it's not like the global narrative that's going to get you. It's your own individual one. And not just the story of like, of what your government is making you do or what your employer is making you do. Those are some of them. Actually, the employer one. It's your inner world that you need to manage now. Your immediate environment was what needs your attention. And that is a piece of cake for your spiritual team to help you navigate through. But you need to fully understand how they are communicating with you. So, through downloads, through dreams, through billboards, through a particular song, you'll turn on the radio and you'll hear a particular song, and that message is for you. If you're in that meditative state, you can go onto YouTube and you'll see a video that directly answers your question. So many of you have emailed me and said you were just discussing something and then I released a video that was directly related to that. That is always such beautiful confirmation. Thank you so much, family. But that can happen. And if you have any pressing question, beloveds, this is the last key I'm going to give for today. The best way sometimes to get an answer is just before you sleep. Ask yourself that question. Ask spirit that question. Make that the last thing that's on your mind. And when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you'll even wake up with the answer. Or spirit will navigate and bring the answer to you that very next day. Try it and see if it works. Until next time. Tuko pamoja.